Changing the world through the power of music. That's a pretty big dream. It all started when I was 4 years old watching an episode of Sesame Street. And it was this special on this little girl in Africa. And I was watching her brush her teeth with her finger and sweep the floor of her dirt house. It was about to be my 5th birthday, and I went up to my mom and I said, "Mommy, I want to give all of my presents to that little girl since she doesn't have any toys to play with." Little did I know that that desire to help children in poverty would grow to take me around the world. I couldn't have imagined at 5 years old that I would be singing and performing in China, or in a trash dump in Nicaragua, or an arena in Seattle, or on a stage in London. What I've realized is that you never know where your passion is going to take you. You just have to be willing to go. This is a song I wrote called Anywhere You Go. Our story's still unwritten. We've got miles and miles to go. All we have is what we're given. You're all I want, all I know. Oh, the places we will go, the maps that will unroll. Darling, anything you want to see, as long as you're with me, we can cross the world, and I will be your girl. I'm okay with that. The only thing I need to know right now is you, 'cause you and I will last. Oh, the places we will go, the maps that will unroll. Darling, anything you want to see, as long as you're with me, we can cross the world. So I have had a crazy past couple of years. My last year of high school, I played 101 shows. And my first semester at Belmont, I released an EP that hit #2 on iTunes. I moved into my dorm, I joined a sorority, I was on tour, all while I was running a music career. It's a lot to balance and a lot to juggle, but for me, my focus is on more than just having a normal college experience. For me, my dream is music. And I don't know if any of you remember David Archuleta from American Idol. Does anyone remember him? Yeah? You know, he sings that song, "Is it really just another crush? 'Cause I know this crush ain't going away." Yeah, 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 yeah. So good. He was totally my middle school crush. And I wanted to show you guys a little bit behind the scenes into my world. This is a video from when I was on tour with David. From the time I was little, people have been telling me, "You're just a kid. What can you do? You're only one person." And I think the same is true today. You're just in college. What do you know? And I'm here to tell you that that's not true. I believe in the power of one person. And no matter the sacrifices or the struggles, don't let the world tell you that you can't make a difference, because you can. And I know that. I started my career when I was in 5th grade. I was a tiny kid, and I remember feeling like I was so old. And I look back at pictures, and I was tiny. But I think I had this childlike fearlessness, this I can do anything, take on the world kind of feeling. And I had no idea what I was doing. When I made my first CD at 10, I convinced my parents to order 1,000 copies. And I'm sure that they thought we'd have a lot of CDs left in my basement. And even though I didn't have any shows lined up or anything ready, I knew that that wasn't going to be enough, because I was determined that I was changing the world. And I have to constantly remind myself that I'm just as fearless as that little girl. I don't have all the answers then, and I didn't have all the answers and at any time. And we can't be afraid to take the first step. We just have to have the courage to start. I wrote this next song the day before I was leaving to come to Belmont. And my mom kept telling me, "Gracie, you need to pack your stuff." But I was writing a song, because that's what you do when you're a songwriter. And I had so many feelings running through my mind. I was ready to leave, but I was scared to leave, and I didn't know what Nashville or Belmont had in store for me. And I think this song really talks about the mix of fear and excitement when you're about to start something new, no matter what it is. And you just have to be willing to take the first step. This song is called Fly. Looks a lot like the end. Change is coming and it's spinning in my head. Too many thoughts, I'm even talking in my sleep. Mind so full that sometimes I forget to breathe. Out here on the edge, tempted by regret, I'm letting go. Watching me fly higher than I ever have. Say goodbye, 'cause nothing's gonna hold me back. I knew this time was coming, but now it's got me wanting to run. Terrified, but watch me fly. Time to revel in the things that I don't know. Find the courage buried deep within my bones. Oh, I know that I will stumble, I will fall. Mountain high, valley low, I see it all. Out here all alone, standing on my own, I'm letting go. Watch me fly higher than I ever have. Say goodbye, 'cause nothing's gonna hold me back. I knew this time was coming, but now it's got me wanting to run. Terrified, watch me fly. I don't know where I am going, now I'm going, am I going? I don't know where I'm going. Oh, I don't know where I am going, now I'm going, am I going? All I know is that I'm going. Oh, watching me fly higher than I ever have. Don't you cry, 'cause someday I'll be coming back. Watch me fly higher than I ever have. Say goodbye, 'cause nothing's gonna hold me back. I knew this time was coming, but now it's got me wanting to run. Terrified, but watch me fly. Oh, watch me fly. Watching me fly. So my dream is to change the world through the power of music. That's been my mission since I was a 10-year-old. And I think when I was 10, I probably thought that I would finish by my 11th birthday. And I realized that it's a huge aspiration, but I feel like I'm doing it a little more every day, in everything I do and every time I sing. I want to take a second and back up and tell you a little bit more about my story. When I was 10, I first heard about the terrible living conditions of orphans in Africa. And I saw these videos and these pictures of little kids who were only 8 or 9, with a baby brother or a baby sister on their hip, taking care of them because their parents had died of AIDS. These kids had no food, no water, no parents, no house. They had nothing. And I was sitting there looking at this, thinking about my brother Cooper, my little sister Lucy, and how hard it would be to take care of them if I was growing up in that situation. Do any of you have younger siblings? Just think about that for a second. It blew my mind then, and I still can't imagine what that would be like. But I wasn't willing to just feel sad or feel sorry. I was compelled to take action and do something to help them. I'd been writing songs since I was 7, and my parents say I started singing when I started talking. And so I went to them and I said, what if I made a CD to raise money? Now, we had no idea how to make a CD, but I made my first CD when I was 10, and I started speaking and singing, at first around Kansas City, where I'm from, and then around the country, and then around the world. And by selling those CDs, I was able to raise over $45,000. And I got to build an orphanage in Haiti where 24 boys live. And I've been there several times. And I got to build a home in Colombia and 2 fish ponds in Africa. And it's grown so much bigger than I could have ever imagined. And I've been telling this story to people like you in China, in Brazil, and Colombia. And I've realized that music truly is the universal language. And it doesn't matter where you are, it still connects. Not all of us are going to make a CD and help orphans, but every single one of us in this room can make a difference. There are so many things broken in the world, and we're not all going to solve the same problem, and that's a good thing. The key is embracing our uniqueness. Changing the world is sitting with that kid at lunch who has no one to sit with. It's speaking up. It's being kind. It's standing up for something you really believe in. We're all different, and I know that we can all do something to make an impact. I want you to know that just because I'm standing up here doesn't mean I'm more qualified to change the world. I'm only 19, and a lot of times I don't even know what I'm doing. In order for me to continue, I want to have you be part of my journey. I want to hear your dreams and your desires to make a difference. And for you, I just want to encourage you that today is as good a day as any to go out there and pursue those dreams and do something to make a difference. Because when we come together, our reach is unlimited. And we leave here a room full of world changers. I have one more song for you, but before I play it, I want to show you a video from my first trip to Haiti when I was 14.
We don't have to wait. We are the change. We are the change. Whoa-oh, 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 whoa-oh. We don't have to wait. We don't have to wait. We are the change. We are the change.
So I have a challenge for you on this last song. I know that if these kids don't even speak English and they could sing along, I want you to sing with me. So I'm going to teach you a little bit of this last song. It goes like this. Whoa-oh, whoa-oh, we don't have to wait, we are the change. Try it with me. Whoa-oh, whoa-oh, we don't have to wait, we are the change. You got it. I am a grain of sand, but I have these 2 hands to hold when I've been given, give it away and make a difference where I can. But I've seen so much need, I stood paralyzed. I thought that it must be done by someone else some other time. Who says we have to wait? Who says we can't be the one that starts the way? We are the change. Sing it with me. Whoa-oh, whoa-oh, we don't have to wait, we are the change. Whoa-oh, whoa-oh, we don't have to wait, we are the change. You got it. One at a time, we can. One at a time, we Thank you so much.